We begin today's show in Los Angeles as the Trump administration sends more troops into the city following 4 days of protests against military-style immigration raids. The Pentagon's deployed 700 Marines to Los Angeles, and President Trump's deployed an additional 2,000 members in the National Guard, bringing the total National Guard's members to 4,000. On Monday, the state of California sued to block the use of National Guard troops. Now to Los Angeles, where we're joined by Jean Guerrero. She's contributing opinion writer at The New York Times and author of the book Hate Monger, Stephen Miller, Donald Trump, and the White Nationalist Agenda. Jean, why don't we start off by you describing the protests on the streets? Have you been to them? And talk about this unprecedented use of military power and the Republican Party, the party that champions states' rights, President Trump going against the states' rights to bring in the U.S. military against the wishes of the local mayor, Karen Bass, and the governor of California, Governor Newsom.
Absolutely, Amy. It's great to be here. I want to be clear about what is happening here. The federal government is going into the diverse communities of Los Angeles to terrorize them. They are ICE is showing up outside of schools, outside of Home Depots, outside of other workplaces. They're snatching people off of the streets. outside of their homes, in front of their children, often without warrants. But what's happening in these protests is that people of all races and backgrounds are putting their bodies on the line to protect their friends, their neighbors, their family members from these arrests. And it is a beautiful thing to see. I was just at one of the protests yesterday where I spoke to grandmothers, white grandmothers who are going out to protect people that they love and who they're afraid could be picked up by ICE. I spoke to Latinas who are, afraid of being racially profiled and arrested because of the indiscriminate nature of these arrests, but they are nevertheless putting their bodies on the line because they're citizens and they believe in using their privilege to defend the people that they care about. And these protests have been largely peaceful. These are people who want to tell ICE that they are not welcome in their communities. And what we're seeing is a provocation. The deployment of the National Guard and the Marines against the wishes of California's leaders. It is an attack on the sovereignty of the state of California, and it is an effort to provoke Angelenos into a violent confrontation. They want protesters to react violently, to distract from what is really happening, which is that, families are being separated, our communities are being devastated, and the people of Los Angeles are standing up to say, we will not stand for this. But the administration is trying to bait them into violence, to brand them as rebels and justify sweeping federal crackdowns and to create the viral images that will distract Americans from the appalling reality that ICE is kidnapping valued community members and destroying families here in Los Angeles.